Hey guys, today I want to talk about something that I like to call the shame game. Many people who have a lot of shame won't actually feel their own shame because it is too overwhelming and they choose to live a life of denial, which is actually a lot of work, as denial requires constantly telling ourselves a story that runs counter to reality. In order to stay in denial, we need to engage in all sorts of tricks, such as constantly making ourselves feel superior to others in order to compensate for our disassociated feelings of shame. Which brings me to the sensitive subject of American slavery, which I believe served such a purpose. I don't believe that slave owning Americans benefited as much from the physical labor that their slaves did as much from the feelings of superiority that they derived from owning other people. I also believe a lot of non slave owning people benefited indirectly by the same mechanism, as the very institution of slavery allowed them to feel superior to Black people and helped offset their chronic feelings of inferiority. When slavery was outlawed, they lost their defense against internalized shame and self contempt, which is why both slave owning people and non slave owning people fought so hard against its abolition. As a therapist, I see the shame game being played out every single day at a micro level, which is what we call the family system. I see how a wife needs to belittle her husband in order to compensate for her own feelings of shame and powerlessness from her childhood. I see how a parent will humiliate his son so he doesn't have to feel his own humiliation from the fact that his wife left him. I see one sibling bullying another in order to feel powerful, to compensate for how powerless and rejected he feels when the parent favors the other sibling. This is the dynamic underneath what we call scapegoating. Humans will do ugly things in order to reclaim a feeling of power for themselves, deriving it from other humans, usually the most vulnerable. I have been the scapegoat myself, but I've also played my share of the shame game at the expense of others. It sucks to do both, even though one temporarily feels better. It doesn't ultimately satisfy to derive power at other people's expense because it's not true power. You see, true power comes from sharing power, not hoarding it. True power comes from love and kindness, and these are the mark of a truly powerful person. A truly powerful person does not feel threatened by the success of others or need to one-up them, but can celebrate those people around them. A truly powerful person also reaches out and down to lift others up, but is also secure to have people around them be their equals and not everyone around them always having to be lifted up by them. The most powerful people of all accept their own human limitations, and they have nothing to prove. Won't you join me in becoming more powerful in this way? Let's be superheroes together by sharing our power. Let's beat the shame at its own game. Thanks for listening today. This is a short one. Please share it with a friend, and please give me a 5-star review and subscribe to this podcast. Thank you guys so much.